Welcome to this bonus episode of Tim Talk, the podcast sometimes about the DC animated universe, co-created by Bruce Timm. I'm Chris Lord.
I'm Cameron Dexter.
And Comic-Con.
We're deep in the hangover.
Yes. You should be more hungover than I am, but I think somehow I am more hungover.
Listen, I don't know what was going on this year with Comic-Con, but I felt weirdly energized.
Yeah, you were
this
very,
whole time.
very upbeat and chipper.
Yeah, you made it down to the con.
I did make it down for approximately 5 hours.
Hey, it was a nice surprise for me. I had no idea you were coming down.
Yes.
I very much appreciated seeing you.
It was okay seeing you.
I don't know. It was, for me at least, the con felt busier than ever, as it always does.
Oh my God, it was so busy.
But somehow it felt so smooth.
It felt so right.
Like everything just kind of clicked this year.
Was your mind telling you no?
But my body's telling me yes. I know you were trying to get the Santana in, and I was trying to figure out how to squeeze that in.
The Santana?
Because I said smooth, and you said,
"Oh, okay."
Well, what's the next line?
Because take me, because yours. I don't know. I forgot it.
You're so smooth, yeah. Give me your heart.
Take it real. No, make it real.
Yeah, whatever. We got a song reference in. No, everything felt like it just kind of clicked into place, which never happens at cons.
No,
like,
it's normally
everything is super disjointed.
A mess.
But I don't know. I everything like just kind of went. I got everything that I wanted.
Yeah.
I made it into basically every panel I wanted to get into, minus two.
Mm-hmm.
One I was fine not getting into because I tried to get into the Avatar panel, Last Airbender panel.
Worth clarifying.
Yes. And it was sad not getting in, but also awesome seeing like how powerful the fan base still is. Because they were in one of the smaller rooms, and I got in line 45-ish minutes early, and there were probably 500 people in line.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like it really warmed my heart. Like I was very much fine. Like, you know what? This is nice.
Let them have it.
Yeah. And even the security person working the line was like, yeah, like half the room right now is already in for Avatar. I'm like, that's awesome.
Now, okay. How do you feel about the camping out thing?
Campers, I honestly just had a conversation about it with a coworker. Camping, yes, it's frustrating, but I don't see it as like cheating the system. Because you are giving up. I mean, you have such a limited time at the con. There's 4 days with preview night. And you are sacrificing that time to basically guarantee a spot for yourself.
Because I talked to a few people down there, because you weren't the only person I know who missed out on a panel because there was room, but they all had like the bathroom passes still. So there's a few venues that had like 100 seats, but those 100 seats were still claimed by like the bathroom passes. People were basically like, oh, I'm just going to walk out of here for the hour.
Yeah, so what a bathroom pass is, for those who've never been to Comic-Con, is you can, once you get in the room, if you want to leave, if you have to, get a snack, go to the restroom or whatever, they'll give you a ticket and you scan your badge, and basically you can come back anytime while that panel's still happening and have a seat. So if I get into a panel that starts at 1:30 and ends at 2:30, I can walk in and immediately get a bathroom pass and just roam around until 2:30 when I have to be back to hand it back in.
See, that part of it seems like it's abused quite a bit, because then because sometimes they just schedule stuff really poorly. Like they'll schedule like an unpopular panel that someone is super excited about between like huge panels, and then no one can get into that middle.
Well, that was exactly my situation in the second panel that I met. I saw half of it.
Okay.
But I wanted to see Gendry Tartakovsky, who makes amazing shows like Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack, the original Clone Wars series. He has a new show coming out on Adult Swim called Primal, which is a silent action series. Yeah. Which is awesome. And they premiered the first episode there and then had a full Q&A with him afterwards. So Rick and Morty was right before it, with very determined fans. Like I said, I got in line 2 hours early. There were about
These are Rick and Morty fans. They were probably there the week before.
Yeah.
In line.
So each, and this is out in the sun. This is an outdoor line.
Of course it is.
So there was, let's see.
Rick and Morty fans never get sunlight. So.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was about 600 people ahead of me in line. And that's not a joke. Each strand had 100 people in it.
Yeah.
And there were 6 strands ahead of me. And so the panel starts at 1, and it's noon right now. So like 12:30, the panel before it starts to clear out. The line starts moving up. Now there's probably 300 people in front of me. And the guy comes by, the security person comes by. He's like, hey, if you're here for Rick and Morty, at this point, you're not getting in. Get out of line. Because now, so after the panel was Bob's Burgers. After my panel was Bob's Burgers. Now people behind me are queuing up for Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty sizable overlap between those two audiences.
Did those 600 people get out of line in front of you? Like, how many people actually left?
No. So that's the thing, is maybe 30 people left. Jesus Christ. Because everyone's like, oh, no, it's like, they're just trying to like test our fandom. I'm like, no.
No,
they
there's
couldn't
no
care.
room.
They couldn't
they
care
don't give
less.
a shit that you're Rick and Morty fans. They don't care what fans you are.
Yeah. And so the panel starts. So it's now 1:15. The panel starts. There's maybe 100 more people got in. And people are still headstrong. Like, we're going to get in. Like, I know we're going to get in. Like, do you think people are just going to leave in the middle of the panel they're waiting for?
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not going to get in.
God damn it.
And so Rick and Morty ends, and there's like 15 minutes till my panel starts. There's still about 150 people in front of me. And they all just kind of switch their attitude of like, well, we didn't get into Rick and Morty, so I guess we'll go see Bob's Burgers. I'm like, no, I want to see my panel.
See, that was really poor planning on their part.
It really was.
Yeah. Like, I get, it's weird how they do their schedules too, because they tend to put the biggest marquee panels towards the end of the day, which...
Well, that's only sometimes. Sometimes they'll start them at the beginning.
Yeah, because like honestly, that kind of makes more sense, right? Like, it makes more sense to get all of the big panels done so that the smaller panels, people are actually there for it.
Yeah.
Because again, like most people that were in the room for the Gendy Tarkovsky panel weren't probably even there for the panel. Like, they probably didn't even give two shits. So it's like, it also seems weird too that the big panels would be so late, because I feel like at that point people want to leave, go get dinner, that sort of stuff.
Well, so that's another one. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was at 8:30.
What?
Yeah.
What?
That was the last panel of the day.
What is like? Doesn't the floor close at like 7?
Yeah, but panels go on until midnight.
Yeah, I know, but it's like who's still going to panels that late? I don't understand.
There was another one that was late. People started. It was another like 7:38 start, and people started lining up at like 4.
Oh God.
And I wish I could. It might have. I know that might have been the Brooklyn Nine-Nine one.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
Because I've probably mentioned this podcast before. I slept on the San Diego Pier once to get into Hall H on a Saturday, and this would have been in, I think it was 2013.
Okay.
So, but it was the year they announced BVS, which was pretty cool.
Gotcha.
No one.
So
at
it was
time,
the year after the stabbing, then.
It was the year after the stabbing. Yeah.
I told that story to someone this year, and they're like, "That didn't happen." I'm like, "Oh, someone got stabbed at Comic-Con, and no one talks about it."
Nope. Because like for the most part, everyone's pretty cool down there.
Yeah.
Like, I've never really dealt with a problematic person.
I've had a few.
Yeah.
I had one where I was in line for. I mean, it was high. You know, everyone was kind of tense. High tense situation. I was in line for Hall H. My mom was outside of the line, and we were just talking because she didn't want to jump in with me.
Yeah.
She was like, "Where should I go next?" Because she was going to wait in another line for me because she's the sweetest human in the world. And so I'm kind of on the side, and people are walking past me, talking to my mom. Everyone sees that I'm still in line. So we finish our conversation. I jump back in. We're moving, and the guy behind me just flips out. He's like, "This is a line cutter. I haven't seen him in this line the whole time. He just jumped this." And I was maybe 15 at the time.
Yeah.
So like, he had probable cause that I was a hooligan.
But like, also, are you going to start like yelling at some random 15-year-old child?
Yes.
So you become that person?
No, I do not. But yeah, he was just making this huge scene. I was like, I haven't seen this person. He cut in line. And luckily, like, people in front of me, like, no, he was standing here. He was having a conversation. He was with us.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you, people. because I don't know how to handle that situation. Because this was a big guy.
Yeah.
Like he's like 6'2", 6'3".
Again, is he gonna beat you up? You're a 15-year-old
Yeah,
child. You're
yeah.
a fucking minor. Like,
I mean, it's situations get super tense at Comic-Con. People, when they don't get what they want, they flip out.
see, I haven't really had to deal with those super tense situations.
Even so, it would have been Friday morning. They were late opening the front doors by 7 minutes. 7 minutes.
Yeah,
And a riot almost started.
of course.
So, small tip for people going to Comic-Con for the first time. If you can get to an inside line, it's much easier to get to the floor before the outside people because they have a different supervisor.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So when you're
No,
waiting,
you don't need to clarify.
I will, because I want people, because it's a good tip.
But why would you share it?
Because it's a good tip.
The 70 people that listen to this, who most of them don't even go to Comic-Con,
But
will
they
now
might
try this
one
out.
day.
They'll
Yeah.
now try this trick.
Yeah, well, it's very much
You'll have to fight for them.
it's a coin toss.
You're going to get in line. Someone's going to seemingly cut in front of you. You're going to yell at them. And then you're eventually going to realize, oh, that's a listener. And then they're going to hate us. And they're going to write us a negative review.
Well, if we have people that listen that cut in line, I don't want you to listen anymore.
They're not even going to cut in line. You're going to think they cut in line.
No, I'm not.
It's going to be some 15-year-old kid who you're their hero. And then you're going to berate them in a Comic-Con line. They're going to hate you
Only
forever.
if they compete with me in the SpongeBob Fry Cook Cook-Off.
You're going to create a syndrome.
Yes, I am.
You are. And it's going to come back to bite you in the ass someday.
Go home, buddy. I work alone. So the tip, just real quick, it's very much a coin toss. Which supervisor says it's okay to go in first? Basically, if you wait inside, you're waiting upstairs and you go down the escalator to get on the floor, as opposed to waiting outside where you're already on the ground level and they just let everyone in.
But how do you even get upstairs?
You can go up and act like you're waiting, and you go up like you're getting in line for Ballroom 20,
Yeah.
or one of the panels. And in the pavilion area, there is a
queue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so it's very much a coin toss to see who lets who in first.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so the outside one, we were 7 minutes late. So right at 9:30, father and son up front, like he taps his watch, and they let him and his son in, and no one else.
What?
I don't know why.
Maybe he had something. He had some other thing to do. Maybe he had some sort of business thing.
Yeah, he was a businessman.
He was a businessman
with his son.
He was in a full suit and briefcase.
Yes.
And a child.
Mm-hmm.
And a baby Bjorn.
And so chants start, people start yelling, and I'm like, we're minutes away from props being thrown at the window.
So many LARP swords that get thrown at that glass.
Yeah.
That do nothing.
And so one of the security people comes out and is like trying to tell us how to scan the badge in, and people are just yelling at him. It's like, we know how to do it, just let us in.
Is there anything more futile in the world than an angry nerd?
No.
Not getting their way?
Yeah, so my quote for everyone is like, nerds are docile until we're not.
Until you're not.
Yeah. And
I like
then-
I'm saying you, like I don't count.
And yeah, I said we until we are not.
Because I am as a human very docile until I'm not.
Yes.
So
Uh,
just pray to God you never end up on that bad side.
yeah. So those moments do happen where like, mob mentality is quick.
Yes, I've just been lucky. I've never had to deal with a mob mentality, but also I haven't really been super present at the con the last couple of years. Like I said, I was there for 5 hours this year.
But before we go into our 2 trips, we have a lot of news to cover.
Yeah.
A lot was announced.
Oh my God. So the bulk of the news is obviously covering stuff from Marvel because that's the biggest announcements. Let's save that to the end and kind of hit other stuff.
Yeah.
So why don't we start off with some of the major trailers
Okay.
that have come out in the last week? Some at Comic-Con, some not.
1 not.
2 not.
2.
Mr. Rogers.
Well, yeah, what's the other one?
Cats.
That wasn't Comic-Con?
No, that came out before Comic-Con.
Did it really?
I mean, I guess it came out on Thursday, but it didn't come out as part of Comic-Con.
Oh,
They
I just assumed it did.
No, they just dropped it on Thursday because they're like, it's the Cats trailer. And
Yeah.
the whole internet screamed.
I assumed it was another, because like I was in the room when Top Gun was announced.
Yeah.
Which was handled so poorly, by the way.
Oh, I know, you told me.
Yeah, I'll recap the story super fast. So the Batman Beyond panel was after Terminator, which it was announced as Terminator, not the Universal panel, but the Terminator panel. So I get in a couple minutes early to try and find a seat. Terminator ends, they turn the lights on, everyone stands up, and the moderator comes back onto the stage, like, hey, cameraman, let's play that trailer one more time. And so everyone's standing, everyone's moving around, and the lights dim again, and you can't see anything.
No.
And so everyone like awkwardly takes a knee because like you don't want to be in anyone's way, and people
Yeah.
are polite sometimes when they're not stabbing people.
Yeah.
And so they played the extended 3.5-minute Terminator trailer again. And then the lights come back up, and there's like scattered applause. The lights come back up, and everyone again stands up, starts moving around, and Conan walks on stage.
Jesus.
Conan O'Brien,
Conan, not Conan.
not Conan.
Schwarzenegger didn't come out.
was on stage.
Yeah, he could have come out after an immediate costume change.
Yeah.
And just started yelling at people. I would have stayed for that.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien comes out, and he's like, "Everyone, sit down. I got an announcement for you." And I'm like, "I just want a seat for Batman." So he comes out. He's like, "Hey, get ready to meet the most famous person you're ever going to meet. Here's Tom Cruise." And everyone has no idea what's going on. They're taking photos wildly. And so then he announces Top Gun Maverick.
I watched that Top Gun 2 trailer. It looks very generic.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like the movie will probably be entertaining. It'll probably be fun. The movie felt cheesy. The trailer felt cheesy, which I thought was in line with the original movie, which is like one of the cheesiest things ever made.
Yeah.
But it will probably be fun. I mean, the kind of ridiculous thing is that in the movie, Maverick like insists on still being a pilot, even though he's kind of aged way past that point, and because he's so bored with himself, he's basically just constantly getting into death-defying scenarios. And you're watching this, you're going, is this really that much of a stretch for him?
Do you think what are they going to replace the volleyball scene with this time around?
Wait, did they show something?
That was from the original volleyball scene.
Did they?
Yeah,
I could've
Yeah, so the trailer had clips of the original movie. I believe so.
No, it was all new stuff.
I don't think his body still looks like that.
I mean, he keeps in good shape.
Yeah, but that was way too tight.
I mean, okay, we're gonna keep talking. I'm just gonna let this trailer run in the background here until I find like the homoerotic moment.
Okay,
Which
I mean it's great. It's such a good scene. That volleyball scene is wonderful.
choice? Okay, so this is gonna run in the background, but I mean, look, it's probably entertaining. It wasn't a trailer that I was like super excited about necessarily. Okay, what other trailers happened? Oh, did you see the trailer for the Picard series?
I did. So we had a teaser for it a couple weeks ago.
And there wasn't anything to it. It's basically just like a logo and then like a photo of him or something like that.
Yeah, it was like a field, some corn. I
Oh
assume.
yeah, I think it's like some box of wine.
Yeah.
because he's at
a
Chateau,
box of wine and a bag of milk.
Chateau Picard. The way these things should be delivered.
Yeah.
But the full trailer looks really good.
It looks really good.
So I started watching Star Trek Discovery, and I stopped after a little bit because I didn't really feel like spending $10 a month just to watch that one show. 'Cause I liked it, but I didn't love it. I've heard that show continues to get better. But I mean, now that show continuing to get better, one, and then for Picard, I will now probably start getting CBS All Access.
Yeah.
Because this is also the first time we've seen what happens in the original Star Trek continuity past Nemesis.
Right.
So it's this is a big deal because he even comments in the trailer oh, it's been 20 years. Well, it's been 20 years for everything. We don't know what happens in this future, and now we get to find out. We get some returning faces
Yes.
too.
I don't know Star Trek, so this is going to be all on you.
Well, Seven of Nine is in there. Seven of Nine, of course, was a very well-regarded character from Star Trek Voyager.
Gotcha.
She's back, played by Jerry Ryan. Oh wait, no, this is not Tom Cruise. Sorry, I've caught up. Caught up in the trailer. Quick digression. This looks. This is a Miles Teller. I can't tell, but this is not a Tom Cruise. This is a young fit man.
Well, no, there was one where it was three. It's text and then 3 boxes on the left.
This is. Oh no, this is the guy. Oh, what's his name? He's so good. He played John Glenn in Hidden Figures. This guy, I like him a lot. He's good. Okay, but now we're in a bar. That may have been Miles Teller. I don't know. Some dramatic things, conversations, funeral, motorcycle. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Some more jets. Did they film? Is he actually in a jet? Did he learn how to fly a jet for this movie? Because that's what it goddamn seems like.
Glenn Powell was who you're thinking
Thank
of.
you, Glenn Powell.
And it wouldn't surprise me.
Because he did learn how to fly a helicopter for Rogue Nation. Or no, excuse me, not Rogue Nation. Fallout. Obviously these shots are possible to do without actually having a camera just strapped inside of a jet. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is all done for real. We're probably gonna get a featurette before this movie comes out about how Tom Cruise is actually flying a goddamn jet around.
Now he broke every bone in his body.
Yeah.
And we're going to see that scene a million times.
I mean, look, he's an easy target to make fun of, and I will always kind of tease him about it a little bit, but I actually have a shitload of respect for him as a filmmaker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He puts everything on the line.
Yeah. Like, go listen, and I've said this before, go listen to the several multi-hour Empire podcast spoiler specials with Christopher McQuarrie for the last 2 Mission Impossible movies. You listen to those, and you will have such an incredible appreciation for just how good of a fucking filmmaker
Or even
Tom Cruise is.
the one where he was on Nerdist.
Oh yeah, exactly. When he did the Nerdist podcast too, like he really, really knows his stuff, and he is,
And every aspect of it too. Like, because he was on a film with Al Pacino, I think was his first film. He was on set with a famous actor of the time, and I want to say it was Pacino, and he was basically like, "Hey, how do I get to your level?"
Yeah.
And Pacino basically said, "Learn how to do everyone's job, and then do it better than everyone else."
yeah. It's like Tom Cruise and James Cameron are 2 people who can basically do every job on a set. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we move. Oh, Picard, right?
Yeah, we have moved on. You're living in the past, Chris.
This is the longest podcast ever. No, Picard looks super good. 7 of 9 is back. They had a brief shot of Data at the very end.
I saw Data.
Well,
I
actually,
know
so
him.
It's not Data. It's probably not Data. It's probably B4. So for those of you who haven't seen
obviously.
Star Trek Nemesis, which came out 2002, Data sacrifices himself at the end of that movie. Also, they say that in the trailer, that Data sacrificed himself. But a earlier version of him called B4 is introduced in that
that's
movie.
a great name.
I know, isn't it? Well, he's a B9 robot. So it's the B4. Is he B9 or is that Lost in Space? Doesn't matter. But that version survives. The idea is like, oh, maybe this more rudimentary version could eventually be kind of like a Data. So a version like Data exists, but Brent Spiner's back, Jerry Ryan's back, Patrick Stewart's back.
Yeah, obviously Sir Past is back.
Alison Pill, who I adore, is in there somewhere randomly for doing something. This looks good. I'm super, super excited about this show. It looks very not Trekky, but in a really fantastic way.
Yeah, you're right. Before, yeah.
Let's see, there was the Witcher trailer.
There was a Witcher trailer. I don't remember a lot about it.
It was very generic. I gotta be honest, I didn't really care about anything happening.
I don't know the Witcher story well enough
Neither
to
do I.
know if they were referencing anything.
Yeah.
But it looks fine.
It looks fun. I mean, look, I like Henry Cavill as
Yeah.
a performer. I think he's really good. I think he's a little underappreciated, maybe even. He's super excited about this project, so I expect the quality to be good. Also, it's Netflix, and they're putting a fuckload of money into it.
Yeah.
But just nothing in the trailer itself made me really excited to watch the show.
Yes, but here's my worry. It is based off a video game.
No, it's based off a book. The video game is also based off a book.
Oh, okay, that's good. Okay,
Yeah.
good to know.
Yes, so they share a common source material that's a novel. Actually, that's a conversation for another time. But the fact that video games are actually a pretty good place to adapt novels, kind of an underappreciated adaptation.
Oh,
form.
there's a yeah, that's a huge industry. Halo has many series.
But the game came
other way
first,
around?
and then they spawned the
okay.
books. I'm saying that there are some video games that are based off of books, and it's actually not a bad place to go and adapt.
Okay, I thought you were going the
'Cause
other
in
way around.
the same way that a book is kind of an immersive experience, a video game is as well. Anyways, we're
There's
gonna
a
say,
whole panel I saw about that. We'll talk about that
okay,
later.
yeah. Did you see the Watchmen trailer?
I did see the
HBO
Watchmen
show?
trailer.
It looks interesting.
Looks good.
Yeah, like I think it's been confirmed, right, that Jeremy Irons is playing an older version of Adrian Veidt, aka Ozymandias.
I
right?
believe so. So here's the weird thing about Comic-Con. Because initially you would go to learn everything first.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point of Comic-Con is you are the first person to know about everything.
Yeah.
But as I've been going year after year after year, I check my phone less and less because I'm just doing
You're
things.
just more immersed.
And so I'll get back home and be like, what happened?
Yeah, what did I miss? Right?
Yeah.
You need 2 hours when you get back just to scroll through all the
Everything.
sites and check
Yeah.
up on everything. I mean, it looks like a pretty solid trailer. I'm pretty sure that was a previous casting announcement, but I mean, it's set in the modern time. If time had passed normally after the events of the original Watchmen in the 80s. So it's like 30 years on. So clearly there's this like underground society all based around Rorschach. It looks like the police are all wearing yellow masks. I think it's like to hide their identity. Regina King is out there kicking ass as some sort of vigilante. Looks good. At one point, Don Johnson is flying around in Night Owl's ship.
Yeah.
Archie. So I don't know if he has a connection to that or if he just somehow came across that thing. There's a tease of the reappearance of Dr. Manhattan himself. Like, it's kind of cool to see what this world now looks like down the line after that show. I mean, it looks pretty good. It's HBO. They do good shit.
Yeah. They have another like Martian.
Well, no, there's no Martian. So Dr. Manhattan went into self-imposed exile on Mars. And he's
Yes.
been living on Mars since that entire time.
Well, I thought I'm probably just misremembering the trailer. I thought someone said like, "Oh, that's the Mars man." But he didn't look blue.
There's something else about there's like maybe another man on Mars, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, it looks good.
It does.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna watch it.
Yeah. Okay, Harley Quinn trailer, the animated show.
I'm so pumped for the show.
It looks really, really fun.
They had a really fun activation too on the floor. Yeah, and in the trailer we get to see the crazy cast they have coming in.
Oh my god, yeah.
So we're getting like a very passive version of Killer Shark.
Is that Jim Rash? Is Killer Shark?
I think so. Let me look up the cast. The cast is also amazing. Like there's so many people in this show. So we know Jason Alexander is going to be in it. Diedrich Baker is going to be
Batman.
Vader. Yeah, it's going to be Batman.
Oh, Lake Bell as Poison Ivy. Yes. And of course, Kaylee Cuoco is Harley.
Yeah, so we have characters named but not connected. So we have Ron Funches is going to be in it. Tony
Jesus
Hale is
Christ.
going to be in it. Christopher Maloney is going to be in it. Jim Rash is going to be in it. Wanda Sykes, Alan Tudyk is going to be Joker.
Oh, JB Smoove, who is one of the teachers in
Yes,
Far From
yeah,
Home,
he's gonna
who's
be
so
in it.
good.
We have and James Wolk will be Spider-Man.
Superman.
Superman.
Oh, I like James.
Yeah,
Wolk.
they're getting Spider-Man, and it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, it's a really good cast. It looks really, really fun. I kind of wish that we got some more sense of like story out of the trailer. It's basically just a lot of snippets of just random bits of action going on. But
Yeah.
it's a tonal trailer more than anything else. A tonal and visual trailer. But I quite enjoyed it.
I'm super pumped for it. I mean, because you were very skeptical when we got the tease last Comic-Con.
Yeah, it felt very Deadpool.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
And I still see that a lot. So the activation they had at the con was you could basically walk down part of Arkham and you could look through the door, you pick up a phone, and it would be one of the characters talking to you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. So they had like Kite Man is going to be in it. They had Killer Shark. They had some psychic person. But my first thought was Manny Pixelic or whatever the fuck you pronounce it.
Oh, Mr. Mixius Pitlick.
Yeah, I thought it was him at first, but as he talked, it was very much not him.
Is it Batmite?
No,
No, it was pretty obvious.
I don't know who it. You see him in the trailer a little bit.
Okay.
And then who else was in the activation? There were kind of 6 cells you could walk through. Clayface looks great in it.
Oh,
He looks
yeah,
very
he does. It looks like it's going to be pretty damn entertaining. And I think you and I were both pretty skeptical about most of the DC Universe slate initially.
I felt from memory, I felt like I was overly excited, especially for Titans.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Whereas I was like a little bit skeptical.
Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, I was skeptical about the whole thing. But I mean, they have been like pretty damn good. Young Justice has been on point. You and I both really enjoyed Doom Patrol.
Yeah, I got a great poster for
You
Doom Patrol.
did. Yeah, you got a great Doom Patrol poster. I think, too, that I'm kind of hoping maybe Titan Season 2 might be a bit better. It got renewed. We already knew it got renewed. And there's like promising talent in there that maybe wasn't quite there before in terms of the characters. I'm like, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. We shall see.
Yeah, but the trailer looks great. The series is this December or this winter, I believe, is when it starts.
Yeah. I think it's this winter. I'm looking through trying to see if I can figure
Because
it out.
Titans is first, right? So we're in Young Justice right now, and then Titans is next. I don't remember what the DC slate is right now.
I forget what's after Young Justice.
Yeah, because there's something between Young Justice and Harley.
Yeah, because this is the end of the year we're getting Harley.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It looks pretty damn fun. Okay, so what else? What other trailers? I feel like
So many.
okay.
Oh, Paul Dini is a writer for Harley Quinn.
Well, he's credited because he created the character.
Okay.
Yeah. So this wasn't a Comic-Con trailer, but it came out today, and I'm excited for it. Which was A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Mr.
The
Rogers.
Mr. Rogers trailer. Did you watch the documentary?
I did. I loved the documentary.
So good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And the movie looks fantastic too. I mean,
So this one is based off an interview. Is it the one where the guy accuses him of being gay?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I feel like that's not something Tom Cruise would sign, or not Tom Cruise.
Tom Hanks
Tom Hanks
would sign on to do.
Yeah.
It also just feels like that would be a little tonally weird. Like even the trailer makes it clear that it's really about acknowledging what a genuinely good person Mr. Rogers was, rather than like it's not like a like warts and all dark expose of him.
Right. Because I mean, I feel like that's where it's going to start. Because the way all the characters talk to the main character, because it doesn't seem like Mr. Rogers is the main character. I think the guy interviewing is going to be the main character.
Yeah, we have a POV.
Yes.
Going through it from this reporter.
Yeah, and so the way everyone's talking to him, it sounds like he wants to uncover something about him. Like he doesn't believe a person can be this.
Yeah, like
they have to have some kind of monster in the closet.
You get the sense that he's looking for dirt, but he probably won't. Well, he won't find it because Mr. Rogers was like
perfect,
pure as freshly fallen snow.
Yeah,
but it looks really good.
Yeah, looks great.
Okay, the last show we got to talk about, Cats.
I'm honestly so excited for this movie.
Have you ever seen a version of Cats?
I have not seen a version of Cats.
Neither have I.
Okay.
I've never seen it on stage.
Obviously, I've heard Memory.
Because what I've heard about Cats is that basically it's actually a terrible musical, but that one song Memory is amazing. And like Memory has now become the cliche I'm going to sing a Broadway song.
Yes.
But the rest of the show is not particularly good. So I remember even when they were starting to cast this,
the fact that Jason Derulo is a named character in this movie gives me so much hope that how did this get made is going to rip it apart.
I can't wait for him, like that character, to come on screen, and as soon as the song starts, like Rum Tum Tugger.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to do it. Because he's in it, James Corden's in it, Taylor Swift is in it, Jennifer Hudson's in it.
Judi Dench
is in it. Not Christopher Walken. Idris Elba is in it.
Big Dress is in there.
Yeah.
It's just like
King Triton himself.
Yes, everyone is in this goddamn movie. Rebel Wilson is like,
yeah,
and it just the effects. If you haven't watched this trailer yet,
it's so creepy.
Where have you been? Because this thing took over the entire internet, but it looks so fucking weird.
It's so wrong.
It's unsettling, and honestly, I am so excited for it because it looks so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have to get loaded and go watch this.
Well, one of the funniest posts that I saw right after it came out was the photo of Cat in the Hat. That's like, we're getting Cat in the Hat too. Everyone get excited.
Yeah, I know, right? It looks disturbing in a way that I am so excited for.
Yeah, so I feel like they heard the critiques from like Jungle Book and Lion King of like, we don't like animals who can't have facial emotion. I can't have like human facial features. And they're like, oh, you want more humanistic animals? We got you.
We got you covered.
Yeah.
I mean, would it be better if they had gone for realistic animals? I don't think so, because
no. Well, then
it's a ballet.
Then it'd just be Aristocats.
Oh man, my God. They're probably gonna do that at some point.
Oh, I mean, it's all gonna depend on how well Lady and the Tramp does,
and also Cats.
And Cats, yeah.
I mean, it's of all the things that I saw trailers for, I'm not saying I'm the most excited for that, but it's one that I know I will not miss.
This honestly might be the one I'm most excited for.
It's going to be a glorious.
It's going to be a true clusterfuck.
It's going to be amazing.
But I mean, like the few like half-second snippets we get of like people hitting their mark, I'm very excited for the dance numbers.
Yeah, the dance numbers look really impressive, and I've heard that like the ballet element of the show is good.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting. All right, let's hit some other just kind of like little bits of news that came out over the course of the show. Most of this is like a little more DC focused. So in terms of the animated movies, we're getting an original Superman story. It's supposed to be when he's like relatively young.
So first we got Hush.
Yeah, you weren't able to make it to the premiere. I wasn't down there at that point. I haven't really heard anything about it.
Our friend Lauren saw it.
Oh, what'd you think?
Said it was fine.
Okay.
And Lauren, if you listen to this one, this is no critique on you, but I feel like her bar is much lower than most people, which makes me think her saying fine means it's not fine.
Well, but I mean, to her credit, though, like all of the DC animated universe, like especially the ones that are set in the New 52 continuity, they're all basically just fine.
Yeah, she said she wouldn't spoil it for me, and I'm kind of mad. I'm happy that I get to rile in this pain myself. But she said there's a scene that is almost as cringy as Batman Batgirl.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How are they still making these terrible decisions?
I don't
mean,
know.
we don't know what it is. We don't know.
she never
We
told
don't
me
know
what it is.
We don't know. We can't judge it yet. But that premiered. Neither of us have seen it, but we'll see it when it does come out, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I think it pops up on DC Universe the 13th, I think is what she said.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
we have like 2 weeks.
Okay, we'll catch it when it does. But yes, we're getting an original Superman movie called Man of Tomorrow. We're getting an adaptation of Red Sun,
Great.
which I'm excited about. I think they just announced that it will be a movie. I don't think they announced the creatives behind it or the casting. I'm hoping this is one of their one-off projects.
Well, it would have to be.
Yeah,
Because you can't. We already have a Superman. We already have all the characters.
well, that's what I'm hoping that it's not.
Unless it's like a brainwash bullshit.
But I mean, I'm just hoping it's not going to be done in the animation style
Yes.
of the New 52. I'm hoping it's going to have, and look, they're all fine. I think like Jerry O'Connell does a pretty damn good job for the most part, but those movies just always to me feel a bit flat. Part of it's in the performance, part of it's just in the visual tone of it. It all just isn't quite there. This is a great story. I would want to see it done in more of like that a bit bigger one-off thing, and I feel like they would put that kind of effort into it, but we don't know yet.
I would hope so. Because I mean, they do have their one-offs. Like we did get Batman Ninja, which
Yeah.
was a completely different art style.
Yeah, that's not even considered part of the direct to DVD DC
Oh, that's
movies, which is
interesting.
weird. Like that, and then the two 1960s Batman movies aren't considered amongst those, which is bizarre. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. So there's a chance that it'll be cool. But we'll see.
Hopefully, yeah. So that happened. We got confirmation that we're going to get a 4th season of Young Justice.
Great.
Have you been watching?
I'm 3 episodes in, so I'm a little behind right now.
Okay, I haven't watched any of it yet.
It's still great.
Okay, good to know. Glad we're getting more of it. We are getting a Doom Patrol season 2.
Great.
Very happy for that. I really enjoyed that show.
Yes, I think it's probably their biggest hit right now.
I would think so. And what's interesting is it was confirmed that show will stream on both DC Universe and HBO Max.
That makes sense because it's the most adult
Yeah.
of any of the shows.
So, but would it be interesting to see is what happens with DC Universe long term? Because I don't have a problem with their original stuff ending up on another app. Because let's be honest, like HBO Max is gonna have enough stuff worth watching that we'll probably end up paying for anyways because we pay for all of them.
I could see HBO Max turning into a hub instead of a platform. So treating it like a Roku. So like you sign into HBO Max and then it opens up like do you want to
HBO
watch
Go.
HBO Go, DC Universe,
Maybe
FX
like
Now.
like a Warner Archive or something like that.
Yeah.
Also, FX is Fox.
Yes.
It's right there in the name.
Fox X.
But I see what you mean, yeah. Because my biggest concern with the potential dissolution of DC Universe, and there's been no confirmation that it'll happen, but we can just kind of speculate that might happen at a certain point and they'll merge in some capacity. One, it would be a shame if not all the content were brought over, but I mean, that's a huge stable, and I would imagine they would want all of it on there. Just so they
Right,
have
because I'm sure
bigger
it took so much
library.
work just to get it there in the first place.
Yeah, like why not just send it over? My concern is with the comics, because I actually have been reading a lot of the comics on DC Universe, and although I don't really like reading comics digitally, I can. It's fine. But just it's worth it because you have all of it there. Like I talked about in the podcast, I read all the Batman Beyond stuff. I started reading Midnighter. I want to finish Midnighter at some point. I want to read Grayson. I want to go and do like Bombshells. There's a lot of DC comic stuff. So to potentially lose access to all that would be a real shame.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure if it's there, they're going to keep it there in some capacity. If
I would
it
hope.
becomes its own subscription service, that'd be kind of a shame.
Yeah, it'd be shitty to be paying double for
Yeah.
like the same content or like for a major overlap of the same content.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see with that.
There's another piece of news that was so weird, but I'm super, super excited about. So when they do the Arrowverse crossover this year is going to be Crisis on Infinite Earths.
5 parts.
5 parts. And Brandon Routh is going to once again be playing Superman.
I'm so excited
And
for that.
specifically the Kingdom Come version of Superman. So what I'm curious about is if that Kingdom Come version of Superman is going to also be a continuation of Superman Returns, or if it's just him playing a different version of Superman.
The same way they did Elseworlds last year. This year. Last year. Recently.
Yes. Yes, last year.
Yeah.
This
Recently.
recently.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The most recent one.
Yeah, the thing that happened. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with that. I mean, because I I was a little bit disappointed when I heard there's the Kingdom Come version because I was kind of like, oh, are they gonna acknowledge like what happened in that universe? But I think I'm the only person on this planet that wants to revisit Superman Returns.
I do.
I really like
So my friend works for Warner Brothers, and he gets to come to Comic-Con every year. He works the event, so he works on the Warner Brothers boat and does all of the photo shoots and interviews. He shoots all the photo shoots and interviews they do on the boat, so he gets to meet everyone.
That's awesome.
And so he texted me after the Brandon Roth announcement, so I was pretty excited to be one of the first people to know. No big deal or anything.
NBG.
But my friend loves Brandon Roth. And so anytime they're in the same room, he gets a photo, they have super awkward conversation, and then Brandon just walks away.
Yes.
And he's like, it's the highlight of my con is to make him feel as awkward as possible.
I mean, I also love him.
Yeah.
Like, I loved him from Superman, obviously. He's been great on First Arrow and then Legends of Tomorrow.
He was great in Chuck.
Yeah, I've heard he was good in Chuck. I haven't seen that. And then, I also listened to a Nerdist podcast interview with him once, and he just comes across as like the most like nice, humble, down to earth kind of guy.
Yeah.
He seems super cool. So the fact that he's gonna be Superman again is like so fucking exciting.
I know. He deserves another chance.
He does. Yeah.
Backdoor pilot.
Yes, let's make it happen. And then you watched the pilot for Batwoman.
I did see the pilot for Batwoman.
And you posted to the story. You were very good, by the way. You did a lot of work down there posting
Thank
onto
you.
Tim Talk. I was very proud of you.
Yeah, I could have done a little more for Tim Talk. I kind of just stuck to the Batman things that I saw.
But it's fine. You were doing the Lord's work.
Yes.
And by the Lord's work, I mean my work.
Your work, yes. The Chris Lord's
The
work.
Chris Lord's work. But you did a fantastic job, so thank you.
Thank you.
But what did you think of the pilot?
The pilot is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's another CW.
Did you watch the Arrowverse crossover?
I have not.
So, because I did sit down and watch all 3 episodes, which one, fuck you, CW. And making me have to watch full commercials while I watch these shows. And it's only commercials for your own show. And it's often the same commercial multiple times in a row during a single commercial
it's
break.
like old Hulu.
Yeah.
Where they only had Toyota as a sponsor
Yes.
for like a year.
Yeah. So it's like because that was 3 hours of my life I spent watching this crossover, which was fine. But of that was about 40 minutes. No, probably more. Yeah, probably like 40, 45 minutes of just watching nonstop Riverdale commercials. And they're only so pretty. They're very
That's when
pretty.
you just mute it and watch.
I can't. It's not even enough to just look at them. Because I mean, if I had spent an hour watching just the main guy, just Archie shirtless, then I would have been okay with it. But there's all this other crap that's happening too, and drama and subterfuge and murder, because there's so much sexy teen murder on that show.
Well, what you can do is go back to the days of when a commercial happens on TV. You change the channel and just hope you change it back in time.
But you can't do that.
Yeah, just change tabs.
No, I watch it on my Apple TV. So if I exit out of the thing,
Yeah, that's
no matter
different.
like even if it puts me back at the end of like the start of that commercial break, if I'm lucky, I still have to restart watching that commercial
I
break.
forgot about it. Yeah, because I watch everything on my computer.
Yeah, I watch it on my Apple TV.
I'm like, you can mute tab out and hope you tab back in at the right time.
I mean, what I should do is next time I'll watch it on my external monitor so I can just have other stuff going on in the background.
Yeah.
Which the CW is designed to watch while having a second screen going on. That's not entirely an insult. Anyway,
Batwoman is, yeah, I mean, Ruby Rose is fantastic. She obviously steals the show. No one is close to her caliber on that show.
okay, that's interesting. So I found her kind of muted a little bit in the crossovers.
She's very broody. Like,
Okay.
she is doing her best female Batman impression.
I don't think that that's what that character should be. Like, I've read the comics, and I feel like I'm worried that she is going to be Batman in everything but name.
She is. She 100% is. And because even the end of the episode, she doesn't claim the name yet. She doesn't have the hair.
Yeah.
It's just the Batman suit fit for a woman.
See, that's not what it should be.
And even in the papers are like, Batman is back. And it's all like, it's so, the end sequence is so frustrating. Because I even posted about one of the news clippings.
Yeah.
Where what was the word they used? Sorry, where they're going over all of the kind of like, he is back. Is it really him? It's like the man behind the Batman. like really focusing on the word.
Yeah.
And even her dad, because her dad's in charge of the Crows, which is like a new private industry version of Gotham Police Force.
Oh my god, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, that's the one thing, because I missed the first like 2 minutes because I was in the bathroom. So maybe they explained what they are.
Does the dad know she's Batwoman?
No.
I guess okay, because like that's
Basically, everyone else does though, so that's nice.
because one of the really cool things about the comic is she has this weirdly close yet distant relationship with her dad. So she's not related to Bruce Wayne, which they do in this universe, which is frankly
They make her
very stupid.
his cousin.
which is
Yeah.
really, really dumb. But in the comics, she deliberately chooses to become Batwoman to associate herself with Batman, basically to redirect the focus back towards him and to take advantage of that situation. She works with her dad. So her dad is a former military colonel, general, commander. He's like super high up in the military. And he helps with her armory. Like he is kind of her man at the desk, kind of.
Okay.
But they also have a very troubled relationship because of their past. And then it's actually Kate's stepmom, who she hates, who has the private wealth that is financing the whole thing.
Gotcha.
So it's all very conflicted. Like she's relying on these two people who she has very strained relationships with to keep her mission going, which I think is much more interesting than just, I'm just going to pretend to be Batman.
Yeah. So her connection to Bruce, I think they still could have done it even if they weren't related. Because basically the story they set up is she was caught in the crossfire of Batman chasing down a villain.
Okay.
Her mom was driving her and her sister, and there's a guy who kidnapped a bus of kids. The bus rams them off the road, and Batman kind of uses his grappling hook to save the car. Kate gets out, but something happens and the car still falls.
Okay.
And so Bruce treated Kate basically like a daughter, and they kind of play into like she's trained as a Robin. I know.
For those
But
who
she
couldn't
has-
see, I just face palmed.
Yeah,
Which
she,
is
I mean,
everyone.
she has like excellent military training. She was top of her class, and all that stuff. But basically, they play up that the reason Bruce treated her with so much respect, or not respect, but with so much care, is because he did the calculations, and there was no way the car should have fallen. Like her sister and her mom should not have died that day, and Bruce
Okay.
is just like so caught up in how that happened.
Wait, do we actually? So do we have?
No, we don't see
scenes?
Bruce. Don't you worry. Batman's not in this Batman franchise.
Because that's
He vanished 3 years ago.
that's the other thing. I hate it when they do that. Like it just doesn't work when you don't have the primary character even in the background.
Well, they did it. I think season 1 of Supergirl, they did it fine.
Yeah, I think they did okay, but ultimately they introduced Superman.
Yeah. And
Like-
so, I mean, there's a chance they'll introduce Batman.
Yeah, maybe they will at some point, but it's just like these things work better when that character is around. Like when it's so much more interesting when she has to operate in a city where Batman also exists. Because also what's cool is in the comics is that she ends up focusing on this like very supernatural aspect, which I imagine they're not going to do that here.
No.
Like they even
That's way out of CW's
No,
budget.
of course. Like they've even announced that the primary villain over the course of the first season is going to be Hush, which is
That's not the primary villain. That's the secondary villain.
okay, but either way, it's a really dumb choice. Like you're taking a villain who is more so than a lot of Batman's rogues galleries, very intimately tied into Bruce Wayne's story.
Yes.
But you're cutting Bruce Wayne out of this. I mean, I feel like they're just going to have the same problems the Titans had.
I agree. Yeah, I can see that.
I haven't even seen this. I'm so mad about it.
No,
Wait.
so she has a connection to Bruce. So she kind of breaks into his office, and finds the entrance to the Batcave. The one character that I hate the most right now is their Cisco,
Okay.
because obviously Cisco's a huge success. Every other CW show has tried to
yeah.
recreate that like attractive nerd character, and this one he doesn't get a lot to do except like no, don't go in there. Wait, don't be, no, you can't be there. Wait. It's very much like that kind of character.
I'm out.
Yeah. But I mean, Ruby's, I like her a lot.
No, I'm glad she's good in it, and I love that character, so I want it to be good. But I don't think I'm gonna watch this.
The timing of things, because someone even asked this in the Q&A. Also, Comic-Con Q&A is getting a little too much for me now. Just how dumb people are. Yeah. But someone did ask the question of like, in the military school she's in, she's top of her class, and days before graduation, she's caught with a girl.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it's basically going back to Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Mm-hmm. But that was repealed in 2011, 2012?
Things I should know.
Yeah. It doesn't line up in the timeline of the show because she's not that old.
Yeah.
She's only been gone for, I think 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
So they basically made up a school that didn't follow
Military.
Yeah. I mean, it was still a military school.
Yeah,
but it was probably like private military.
Okay, yeah.
And so they still had Don't Ask, Don't Tell. So she gets kicked out. The girl she's hooking up with says that she's not gay, not a lesbian. And that creates a divide with them. And this is also what I mentioned on the story.
Right.
Is she's still the love interest, but now the love interest is acting straight, has a husband. Yeah, there was a big kind of like weird feeling in the audience when she's like, "Oh, this is my husband," and I'm like, "Oh, that's not going to go over well."
That's just such cheap drama. Mm-hmm. Like you can still have a dramatic story between two gay characters without having one of their stories being that they don't know if they're gay or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can be done better than that.
Yeah,
like the comics do it.
Yeah, so you have that. The line from the newspaper at the very end says, "It's Bat-leavable. He's back." And I'm like, if I ever see Bat-leavable anywhere again in a CW show,
Jesus Christ,
I will quit all of DC. I will stop this podcast.
Oh my God. Okay, well, shall we move on to the primary topics of Comic-Con?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about Marvel.
Image Comics.
Everyone's demanding.
Mm-hmm. Whatever happened to the Invincible movie or TV show?
I think it's still happening. I just don't know what's happening with it. It might be in turnaround. I'm not sure. But no, like unsurprisingly, Marvel showed up and dominated. Now, what was interesting about this is there wasn't much that they announced that we hadn't already heard. It was basically just confirmation of a lot of rumors that were flying around. Mm-hmm. So they unveiled the entirety of the Phase 4 slate. Like this was one kind of ongoing question is this the entire Phase 4 or not? Because there's not an Avengers movie. There doesn't appear to be a finale in the same way that every other phase has. But this is in fact confirmed to be the entirety of Phase 4.
And we see a lot of Disney Plus on here.
Yeah, so it's 5 films, 5 Disney Plus shows.
Oh, wow, okay.
So the first thing we're getting is, of course, Black Widow, May 1st, 2020. Movie we already knew was happening. I think the only major reveal for this is that we got confirmation that the Taskmaster will be the villain.
Oh, that's all. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't really know.
That's a good villain for her.
Yeah, I don't know much about that character. I know he can like recreate other people's moves, something like that. Like he can.
I think it's everyone except Spider-Man. So I've always seen him as a Spider-Man villain.
Okay.
But yeah, he can take the abilities and not powers, but the martial arts of characters
Fighting
and replicate
style.
It perfectly.
Yeah, and then David Harbour is playing the Red Guardian, who I don't know much about, but he's like Russia's pseudo answer to a Captain America sort of thing. And I think this has been confirmed to be set right after Civil War.
Cool. As I said before, I have not read anything about this news yet. All I know is I've seen the photo.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'll fill you in here. So, but we know that's coming. That's the next Marvel film is going to happen is May 1st of next year. Mm-hmm. I think there is still some valid argument to it's maybe a little bit too little, too late. Like it would have been nice to see this movie a while ago,
especially since we already had Red Sparrow, which can pretty much confirm was the original Black Widow script.
What?
Red Sparrow?
Red Sparrow's a book.
Yes, but it's also a Jennifer Lawrence movie.
Yeah, but it's based off a book, not off of a Black Widow script.
Okay, I always heard that this was the script that got killed.
Oh, I never heard that. Maybe.
Oh,
isn't it a book?
Oh,
no, it doesn't matter. But no, we're
so easy. I can make you distrust your own mind.
Just kicking those apple boxes out from underneath me.
Yeah.
And then
slap me with a bag of milk.
Oh, God, fucking gross. So the next thing we're getting is in fall of 2020, we're getting the first Disney Plus series for Marvel, which of course the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
We got confirmation that the Falcon will be dressed up in his Captain America suit.
Yes, he will, with the shield.
With the shield. We got confirmation that
and the wings.
Zemo,
probably not.
Maybe some sort of wings. I think there'll be wings. Zemo's gonna be back this
Better
time.
Have his glue gun. He's not gonna have his glue gun.
What?
Baron Zemo has a glue gun.
Is that his thing?
Yeah, that's why he has the mask. He accidentally glued the mask to himself.
Oh my God.
That is 100% his backstory.
That's actually his backstory?
Yes.
Jesus. Fucking Christ.
Yep.
Well,
Makes him a lot less threatening now, doesn't it?
it really, really does. Well, thank God that they're not doing that, presumably. It's just Daniel Brühl. And I guess he did like a video into the floor and being like, oh, I'll be seeing you soon, and puts on the mask. But so we're getting Zemo, which would be cool. And then the next movie is going to be November 6th, 2020. It is The Eternals.
Yeah, with a killer cast.
Really impressive cast. So I have it all up right here. So a lot of them were already rumored, like Angelina Jolie, Richard Madden, Kumail Nanjiani, Salma Hayek. We're also getting Brian Tyree Henry, Laura Rinloff, Leah McHugh, and Don Lee. I don't know who all those other people are. The director is Chloe Zhao. I'm trying to remember what she did. I don't really know anything about the Eternals. Like, I think they're created by the Celestials. And
Yes.
and there was a poster that came out for this movie too. And I'm imagining that poster is a picture of the Celestials, not of the Eternals. 'Cause
Correct.
It's all just a bunch of generic looking godlike things.
Yeah. So if you go to the queue for the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, you can actually see the Eternal, or the Guardians. No, what's the word you said?
The Celestials.
Celestials helmets on the wall in the queue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know we saw one of them in the first Guardians movie as they were explaining the Power Stone. Mm-hmm. And then, so...
And we know nowhere is in the skull of a Celestial.
That's right. It's in the skull of a Celestial. And then haven't they also said, too, that the Grand Master and the Collector, are they both Eternals?
I think they're both Eternals.
Okay, so this, I mean, maybe they'll be popping up too, which can be kind of cool. I mean, it was always better with some Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is a killer cast. It's not a project I know much about. I know they're loosely based off of existing legends. So, like, for example, Richard Madden's playing Icarus. And then Brian Tyree Henry's playing Phaestus. So it's a name I recognize, but I don't remember who the mythological character is. So I don't know. I mean, it could be interesting. Marvel, we trust them at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that it's going to be actual people and it's not just going to be a bunch of generic CGI thingies. We don't need that.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then the next movie is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah, so from the title, I assume that's a reference to the Mandarin.
Yes, they have confirmed that the real Mandarin, who they teased in one of the Marvel one-shots,
Right.
will be back in this. And then they cast Shang-Chi himself, and it's Simu Liu, who is gorgeous.
I don't know if you've been seeing on Facebook and Twitter, but all of his tweets have been resurfacing. Because he's been fighting for this kind of character for a while.
Yeah, like there's a tweet from him from a few years ago, like, hey, why don't we get an Asian American actor playing Shang-Chi?
And then this was like from 2017. And then he commented on it after the panel, saying like, oh
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I've seen a few of his like kind of comments on his old tweets popping up, and he seems really, really cool.
Yeah.
He seems like he's gonna be a really great fit. And
so you have the problem, and I've heard a couple people talk about this. You have the problem where you have a martial art expert, kind of in line with Iron Fist, where everyone in this universe is a martial art expert.
Oh, but he's like the best of the best.
Yeah. So how do you make him better than who's already presumably the best? Like Black Widow is kind of like one of the best at like judo.
Yeah.
And you have Cap America who's indefinitely better than every person he's ever come up against. Better than so and so the kicker. What's his name?
Batroc the Leaper.
Batroc the Leaper. What's his name? The kicker.
The kicker. He's the last one picked.
Yeah. Poor guy.
I mean, it is an interesting question. Like, how do they make the martial arts in this feel really spectacular?
Yeah. And that's not like a tear down on everything else. Like they do such a good job with the hand-to-hand combat in every movie, especially in Winter Soldier.
Yes. Oh, Winter Soldier fighting is so
That
good.
goddamn knife fight is
so
good.
It's amazing. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this. They have to find some way to make it feel distinct, but they have been so good at doing that so far, though.
Yeah.
And if this is their really martial arts movie they're going to lean heavily into, I think they'll do that service in the same way they did service like a heist movie with Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Or like I've been listening to a spoiler special on Far From Home, and the director John Watts keeps referring to the whole movie as a con. It's a con movie in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it absolutely is.
And it like that makes sense. I think they're going to do a good job with this. There's also another cast member, Awkwafina, which I'm excited about. She's fantastic. Yeah, I really want to go see The Farewell, which is her movie that just is coming out. Like I think just came out last weekend. Looks really, really good. I'm super excited about that, mostly because I think that the lead actor is very, very pretty, and I'll watch him. I'll watch him do anything, to be perfectly honest. So then after that, we're getting. I think first we're going to get WandaVision, again, another Disney Plus show. And so the interesting reveal on this one is that we're also going to get a fully grown Monica Rambeau, so the kid from Captain Marvel, and this character is being played by looking up here, Teyonah Parris, who I wasn't really familiar with. But it's just cool that like they're really interweaving these things so intricately. It'd be interesting to see what role she plays in that, because I feel like Monica Rambeau's been Captain Marvel in her own right at some point in the comics, right? Or like she took on a similar role.
Well, that's who everyone was expecting to take on the role of Miss Marvel.
Oh, yeah, but I'm pretty sure they're going to actually properly do Kamala Khan on that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting that they're going to include her in that story. And then also apparently that show is going to tee up the Doctor Strange sequel, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, because Scarlet Witch will be appearing in both.
Great.
And the Doctor Strange sequel is going to be like a full-on horror movie, like them really leaning into the horror tropes. Plus, it has multiverse right there in the title, which will be very interesting to see what they do with that. I was listening to one film reviewer today saying that she actually really hopes that Marvel never really earnestly does the multiverse, because it's kind of a cheat and it's so complicated that it'll probably be done poorly.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like... Do you think DC has a better handle on multiverse than Marvel?
I mean, I think it just all depends on how it's done. Like, Teen Titans Go obviously does a great job with it.
Yeah, but so does Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse did a great job with it. So...
They also premiered Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans on Sunday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really sad I didn't get a chance to see that.
Yeah, same. I wish I could have seen it because I'm super damn excited for that movie. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think they'll do a good job with whatever they do with the multiverse, but it probably won't be quite as insane as we're thinking. It's probably not going to be like, hey, I'm going to go to this other version of our world where all of us exist but are very different. It'll probably just be the idea of him going between dimensions. Mm-hmm. And those dimensions probably won't be really blunt reflections of our own.
I hope it's he goes somewhere where it's just a Wild West planet.
Oh my God, I'd be so
and he
happy
has to use magic in a gunfight.
Yes! Quick draw?
Yeah.
I'm so down. I also really like Doctor Strange. I think he's fantastic. Benedict Cumberbatch is great. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to see him in that. Okay.
Halfway there. A little past halfway.
A little past halfway. Okay, and then spring of 2021, we're getting the Loki show.
Yep.
Which we got confirmation that will in fact be the Loki that escaped during Endgame.
Yes.
Yes, so it's him hopping around the universe and maybe somehow time after having escaped with the Tesseract. Because as they put it, the last thing that happened to him was getting ragdolled by the Hulk. So this is very much still like Loki before he's had the redemptive path through the Thor movies.
Yeah, so this is pre getting murdered by the elves and pre
getting murdered by Thanos.
Yes.
Yes, and he wouldn't have resolved his conflicts with Thor
and
at this point.
Seeing his mother die, quote unquote.
Yes, that's true. Actually, yeah, that wouldn't have happened yet. So that'll be an interesting show. I'm really excited about that one. Okay, and then we have probably the biggest. Actually, okay, the last piece of Phase 4 is going to be the Hawkeye TV show on Disney Plus. The big announcement out of that was that it's going to introduce Kate Bishop, which I think is something everyone was kind of expecting. But I think the biggest thing that happened over the entire course of this, one would argue, is all the news that came out about the Thor 4.
Yes.
Thor 4. Thor.
4. Nailed it.
Fourth.
Yes. No, just 4.
Thor.
Yeah.
Because we heard that it's basically confirmed right before Comic-Con came out that Taika Waititi was coming back.
Yes.
But the news that came out was the title one, Thor: Love and Thunder. Sounds fantastic.
The logo is very much ripped off of He-Man, and I love it.
Totally, yeah. And someone even made I saw someone post on Twitter, like, the evolution of the Thor logos has been fantastic. Because the old one was very like plain and simple and stark and chromed, and now this is just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And looks insane. But so Chris Hemsworth, of course, is coming back, as is Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, confirmed that now as the King of Asgard, she's going to be seeking out her queen.
Yes.
Something that Kevin Feige also confirmed.
He made a great face when he said that word.
Yes, of course. So we're going to finally get, unless it happens sometimes prior to this movie, our first gay character in the MCU.
Main character.
Main character.
Because we did get the Russo.
That's true. We got that one
in
random
Endgame.
token character. But this is our first hero, seemingly our first queer hero in the entire MCU. It only took them 13 years.
Hey, progress.
We'll call it progress.
Like I said, a crawl is still moving forward.
That's true. That's true. It is limping forward. But so she's
But
coming
that
back.
news was trumped.
Oh my God, very much so. This is something you must have been crazy excited about.
Natalie Portman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, hold on, what else happened?
Yeah, that you love Natalie Portman.
I do love Natalie Portman.
You bemoaned the lack of Natalie Portman in Endgame.
I did.
Yeah.
I also just saw a photo of a young Natalie Portman
Yes.
contrasted to or compared to a current,
Millie Bobby Brown.
and we've perfected cloning.
It's uncanny.
Yes.
It's really fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's back and she's going to be the mighty Thor.
Yes.
She will wield the hammer, which is crazy.
Which is also one of the best tweets of the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
was someone commenting like, oh, you know, if Chris Hemsworth is Thor, then Natalie Portman has to be female Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just how you have to describe it. And Taika commenting on that, being like, no, she's called Mighty Thor.
Yeah, she's just mighty Thor.
Yeah.
This is super, super exciting. Like, I think that the more Marvel has really gone out there and like pushed and propelled the stories forward, the better they've been.
Yes.
So, I mean, the general idea here of now this sort of like aimless Thor having someone else wielding the hammer, someone who he clearly is entirely over given his like drunken ramblings in Endgame.
Right.
At the same time that someone else is like taken over his kingdom. Like, what does he do now in this world that doesn't need him anymore? Mm-hmm. That is a great idea for a story.
Yeah. And was it confirmed or rumored about Billy Ray
Beta
Cyrus?
Ray Bill.
No.
Beta Ray Billy Cyrus.
Yes. Billy Ray Cyrus.
That's just a rumor. That was not confirmed as part
Okay.
of the announcement. So
Or Frog Thor. I would
Frog
love if they did a
Thor.
Thor multiverse.
I would be so down for that. I mean, you could get away with it in Thor.
Oh, you definitely
If
could.
Any of them you can get away with
Especially
it there.
with a title like that.
Yeah. I mean, this is super exciting stuff. Like, again, everything was basically just confirmations and things you already knew was happening, but the details along the way were new. And then the total surprise one, which no one was expecting, was the confirmation that Mahershala Ali is going to play Blade.
Yeah.
That was, as far as I
That's
knew,
huge.
on no one's radar. No one was expecting that, which is great. I mean, I think he's obviously a terrific actor, multiple Oscar-winning actor, Mahershala Ali. I think he's a great fit for the character. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
But then how will he continue his role in Alita?
Well, thank God they killed him off in Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the first actor that's been in both. But I'm really excited about that. And so that was a casting announcement that was confirmed, but that it will be part of Phase 5. So that was the other kind of question left over after all the Marvel stuff is, because obviously we can't be happy with just what they told us. We can't just be happy with things they did announce.
Right.
What are the things they didn't announce? So, they did confirm that we are going to be getting a Blade movie, as we just mentioned, with Mahershala Ali. They did confirm that we will be getting a Fantastic Four movie. The first of the Fox properties to be adapted. Kevin Feige has said they will do it the justice it deserves. Unsurprisingly.
We'll see about that.
We'll see. But we still are waiting to figure out what's going to happen with Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2,
Yep.
Guardians 3. One presumes a third Spider-Man movie.
Yes.
And then what's going to be the next Avengers movie? So Kevin Feige has confirmed that they already know the lineup, unsurprisingly, and there will be a Avengers event film.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because these characters are so spread out.
Very, very spread out. Yeah. And so maybe that's what this phase is going to be. Maybe Phase 4 is going to be them just really digging in and establishing what is this universe like now.
Yeah, I mean, over this film, over these movies, we basically, if they want a grand Avengers movie, the biggest hurdle right now is how do we get humans off Earth?
Yeah.
And usually that is through Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And so I guess you can use Doctor Strange. Like we have portals. But that is kind of, in my opinion, the biggest hurdle without having all the villains come to Earth like it always happens.
Yeah, and that'll be very interesting to see if the next Avengers film is spacebound because, we do have Captain Marvel, obviously, is supposed to be a huge part of the new Avengers lineup. So, I mean, we can kind of guess who will be part of the lineup, more or less, right? So it's probably going to be Captain Marvel, Black Panther,
Yep.
Doctor Strange,
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I would guess New Cap / Falcon.
It depends on how much they're going to jump between TV and movie.
The impression I get is they're going to be pretty interconnected.
Okay.
And I guess conceivably they could jump from the end of Endgame to him as Cap in a new movie, and technically they will have done enough bridging there. Mm-hmm. I imagine the TV show might be his origin, quote unquote, to becoming Cap. But I think it would include him. Maybe someone coming out of Black Widow might be teed up. There might be a successor to the Black Widow mantle potentially. I know Florence Pugh's in that movie. People are speculating that her role might be some sort of like new Black Widow.
Okay.
And then of course we'll probably have Kate Bishop taking over for Hawkeye on the team.
Yes.
Potentially Scarlet Witch still around. Potentially the Vision maybe back. Mm-hmm. We don't know. What sort of overlap are they going to have with the Guardians, with the Eternals? Is Shang-Chi going to be part of the Avengers? All these questions yet to be answered.
I know.
It's crazy.
Got a lot to look forward to.
I know. It is really, really exciting, though.
Do you feel... So we've now finished the big saga. Endgame is over. Thanos has been defeated.
Yeah.
Do you feel as excited for these movies as you did back in, we'll say, Phase 2?
Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
I think...
What were the new characters of Phase 2?
So...
I feel like that's the wrong Phase 2. I feel like that was the lowest of the phases.
Yeah,
that was all the sequels.
But Phase 2 was the setup phase. That's when they're introducing new characters and the team rosters were changing. So Phase 2, then you're talking about the introduction of Ant-Man, Scarlet Witch, Vision,
Strange,
Doctor Strange, Black Panther was Phase 3. Oh no, technically he was. Oh no, he was Phase 3.
Yeah, he was Phase 3. Falcon. Did you say Falcon?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Winter Soldier. I don't know if you said that. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I think it was always so exciting knowing that they were building towards something specific. Here we don't know what they're building towards. So there's kind of a mystery. I think this next phase feels satisfying. Like there's a lot of stuff in here that I'm excited about. There's other stuff that I'm maybe a little bit ambivalent about, but I just trust that Marvel will do a good job with it.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
But like, for example, I am super excited for Shang-Chi, for Doctor Strange, for Thor. Oh, we forgot to mention the What If series.
I know, I was waiting for you to bring up the What If series.
I forgot about the What If series. Yeah, so the What If series will be an animated series featuring the voice talent of the live action actors. Mm-hmm. Pretty much everyone is confirmed except for the big hitters. No Cap, I think, no RDJ.
Yeah.
But I think Hemsworth was confirmed. But it's,
what else does he do? What else is he doing?
That's exactly true, yeah. The Men in Black's not really panning out for him. But it's going to be these What If stories. So we also know that Jeffrey Wright is going to be the Watcher, which is kind of cool. So
I hope they get the writer who did the Futurama episodes.
Tales of Intrigue?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because those are so good.
Those are really, really
good.
And
that's where the bar is for me for these episodes.
Yeah, I hope it's something quite. Hope it's something interesting like that. It's probably quite as clever, self-aware.
Well, I mean, if it's animated, we're definitely going to get a Frog Thor episode.
I think we might. Yeah,
I feel like that's where we're going to get a Frog Thor. We might get a Spider Ham.
Yeah, they probably won't do Spider Ham because they already have Spider Ham.
I know, but not a Marvel Spider Ham.
I mean, that's a messy situation. I don't think Marvel's going to.
This is 2 years from now, so we don't know where the contracts are going to be. Yeah, we
don't know. If you look close in the background, you can see a zombie Cap in there. So we're probably going to get Marvel's zombies. We know we're going to get one of Peggy Carter as Captain America.
Great.
I think maybe one of them too might be what if Loki wielded the hammer, wielded Mjolnir instead of Thor.
We'll probably get a Nazi Cap or a Hydra Cap.
We might get that.
I mean, yeah, Marvel has so. I mean, this is their 80th anniversary.
Oh, that's right.
So obviously they have 80 years of potential storylines they can pull from.
One of the ones that I would really love to see, but I doubt we will, is Marvel 1602. Do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
So it's written by Neil Gaiman and drawn by Andy Kubert, and it came out probably over 10 years ago now at this point because I bought it when I was a kid. But the idea is that it's set in 1602 in the New World, but all of the Marvel characters exist at that time. So Doctor Strange is the advisor to the Queen.
Gotcha.
Who else is in there? So Peter Parker is a page to Nick Fury, who is the Queen's right hand assassin.
Nice,
more or less.
Master of what was Varys' title? Master of Secrets, Master of
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I've already forgotten.
I
that
assume
show.
it's like that role.
Yeah, but like the Fantastic Four exists, the X-Men exist. It's really cool because it's everybody. It's like all of the big hitters are in this universe together. It's a great story, and I would love to see that adapted. It just made me, oh my, something's happening behind us.
Yeah, there's a kid on my floor that likes to yell a lot.
Damn you, children!
We gotta cut. We gotta start over. They
Okay.
ruined the take.
God no. But no, I'm excited for that too. Yeah. Oh my God, so much Marvel talk.
Yeah, that was a lot.
It was a lot.
And we still have D23 coming up, where I'm sure they're going to announce even more.
Oh,
We're
my
probably going to get a
God.
Black Widow trailer at D23.
Yeah.
That might be all we get because they are combining all live action into one panel, which is fucking absurd in my opinion.
Oh my God, that's just
So we're
too
going to
much.
get most likely a Mandarin trailer in 2 weeks. We're going to get a Black Widow potential trailer or even just a teaser. We're probably going to get a full Star Wars trailer.
Ah, yes. Yeah, no Star Wars news.
Yeah. Yeah, because again,
D23.
D23 is in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Is it only 2 weeks?
2.5 weeks. Yeah,
geez.
somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah, so a huge Star Wars push is going to happen soon. I'm sure they're going to trickle in a few more Marvel details. Maybe they're going to talk more about the Fox stuff coming in. Who knows? Because, yeah, Fox live action is also part of that. But
Yeah,
who knows
true.
what that's going to be about. And then, of course, all of Disney's stuff. So we're going to get Mulan in that panel. We're going to get
God.
Lady and the fucking Tramp in that panel.
That's going to be a weird one.
Yeah. I have no idea why they're choosing that as
know.
first. But I mean, they did it fine with animated 2 years ago. Like they combined Disney Animation and Pixar and whatever the third studio was that
Yeah.
closed down shortly after the panel.
Yeah, so we'll get a sense of that. So, but I'm not particularly excited about Lady and the Tramp.
Who asked for that? Of all of the
no one asked for it.
anthropomorphic movies we could have.
Yeah.
They're like, you know where we should start? A sad dog and a rich dog.
Yay!
Yay.
Yeah. We'll get to Lion King next week.
I know. I'm
we're
going
not-
to see it shortly after this.
Yeah, we're not doing plugs this week. All right, so we've talked ad nauseum about the news, but Cameron, of course, you were actually on site the entire time.
I was.
What were your major con highlights?
Man, this con was great. Everything felt good. The Batman Beyond panel was great. Seeing Will Friedle in
Yes.
person, he's so sweet, and him and Kevin Conroy still have such great rapport together.
Oh my God, I'm so
especially
sad.
with Andrea standing next to them.
Andrea Romano, worth
Yes.
clarifying. Yeah.
Mhm. The people next to me did not know who she was. One of the guys is like, "Oh, that's the love interest from Phantasm," and then someone else behind us was listening and is like, "No, that's Andrea Beaumont."
Yeah.
and no one told them who she was, but that's fine. It's whatever.
Did you slap them both?
No.
Should have.
The panel was great. Nothing new was really announced. No not really any fun story. We also just finished Batman Beyond, so
Yeah.
everything they were talking about, I already knew.
Very, very fresh.
Yeah.
We're getting that Blu-ray set.
Getting that fancy Blu-ray set.
Yeah.
So that's fine. What were the other panels I went to? What did I watch? Let me find my list real
You
quick.
were there.
I was there. I know I was there, but I forgot what I saw. The Tartovsky panel was I made it to the second half of the Tartovsky panel.
Okay.
And that was fine. I'm excited for the show. Listening to him talk about it was amazing. The home movies panel was one that I wasn't expecting to walk into, but I
Oh,
did.
yeah.
So this was the year of anniversaries. So it was Marvel's 80th anniversary, Batman's 80th anniversary,
Batman Beyond's 20th.
Batman Beyond's 20th, Gundam's 40th anniversary, Dragon Ball Z's 30th anniversary, Tim Burton's Batman 30th anniversary, Batman Beyond's 20th, Home Movies 20th, SpongeBob's 20th anniversary.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this was a big year for anniversaries.
And none of them mentioned that it's also my 30th birthday.
Happy birthday, Chris.
It's not actually happening yet, but still. I'm
the-
the same age as the Batman movie.
The home movies panel was so funny. It's like I said before, it's one I didn't expect to pop into.
Yeah.
I sat down to eat because I just needed to sit, and then I just happened to be in the right room at the right time.
Did you watch home movies?
I watched a little bit of it.
Okay.
It was kind of the first show my parents let me watch that was a little
Risque.
raunchier.
Okay.
Because it was early days of Adult Swim. That was the opening show of Adult Swim.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I didn't realize Home Movies was on another network before Adult Swim.
I didn't
Of
know
the
that.
time, it was the lowest rated show for that network has ever had.
Jeez, I had no idea.
That show.
What?
They had 6 episodes. I want to say on Fox. Maybe it might have been ABC.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember where it was, but it did horribly. And so no one expected it to come back. Adult Swim was like, hey, we need a bridge show between like the kid shows and the hard adult shows. And this was a great middle ground. H. John Benjamin was there, and he basically treated the panel like a police interrogation.
H. John Benjamin is so fucking fantastic.
He's so fucking funny. I didn't realize the creators went on to do such amazing things. So the main creator of Home Movies is the same guy that makes Bob's Burgers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they also had Dr. Katz before that. Yeah, so that's why they gave them another show, is because he did Dr. Katz.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other co-creator went on to make Metalocalypse, which is a huge
That's a
show.
big show. Yeah.
And that guy was the one who taught the Bob's Burgers creator basically how to write comedic songwriting.
Oh, okay.
So that was super interesting. There was a panel. So I went to go see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child a couple months ago, last November. Mm-hmm. And there was a whole panel by the quote unquote like magic creators, the stage magic creators.
Oh, that must have been a really cool panel.
Yeah, it's 3 professional magicians who all have background in magic and theater who had to make all of the illusions on stage look as real as possible. And it was fascinating.
I bet.
If there's video of that panel, I highly recommend watching it just because it's so different than everything I've ever seen. That one was super, super cool. The next day on Friday, Tartovsky I did. Made it to... Oh, there was a panel before Hush that I got to see for a minute. It was just it was another like kind of random toss-up panel, but it's the second year they'd done it, and it was Entertainment Weekly's like fan interaction panel.
Oh God.
So they bring on, no, it's actually pretty cool.
Okay.
They bring on just a slew of random famous people. So it was Clark Gregg was there, Iris from Flash was there, Kathy, what's her face, from Arrow, and now
Oh, Katie Cassidy? No.
no, that isn't that.
Wait, the White Arrow or Red Arrow or Black Arrow? Oh no, God damn it! White Canary or Black Canary?
White Canary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't remember her name. She was there.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of a slew of random CW hot people. And then what's his face from Good Place?
Chidi?
Chidi was there, and he was great. He very much did not fit in with anyone else on
I
that.
love it though.
Yeah.
I love it.
But it was basically the moderator being like, tell us about your first Comic-Con, your best fan experiences, your weirdest fan experiences. And then I had to leave after that, but Stephen Amell came out because he's great with his fans.
Yeah.
I heard that panel was super fun. Lauren stayed for that. And then Saturday we did Batwoman, which was fine. So I went to 2 panels that I don't normally go to. One was called Subverting the Hero's Journey. And so it's kind of like an English class. I went because our friend Hector was on the panel.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He did amazing. And it was a slew of other amazing comedy nerd writers. If you can find the details, look into all of them because they're all amazing people. And it was basically talking about we have the typical hero's journey that was written so long ago. How have we changed it over the past 20 years? Because the hero's journey usually follows the straight white guy. So now that we have Captain Marvel, how is that different? Now that we have Miles Morales, how is it different? How do they kind of change the steps? And then Hector had a huge, I don't want to say rant, but amazing kind of speech about how Star Wars, the new Star Wars, fits into the classic hero's journey and why fans shouldn't be as upset as they are.
Well, one, they should not be as upset as they are.
Yeah, that's a big point on its own.
Yeah.
So that was a super cool panel. I went to one called Becoming a World Builder, How to Make a Science Fiction and Fantasy World.
That's cool.
That was super random and weird. Just a bunch of authors and comic artists coming together, being like, this is, basically how you set up a fictional city, fictional planet, fictional country.
Yeah.
And that was super fascinating. Did not get into the Avatar panel. I think that was the last panel I went to.
Oh,
that
damn.
was the last one I went to.
But I mean, your highlight was not a panel, though.
My highlight was not a panel. I had 2 major highlights, 2.5 major highlights.
Oh my God.
2 were both at the Nickelodeon booth. because as per usual, it is the best booth at Comic-Con.
It is.
I was in full Nick swag. I abandoned all of my Disney connections to go full Nick Cameron. And I got interviewed by Nick Television, by Nickelodeon TV. And that was super fun. I love talking.
You have to explain how you were dressed. You have to really paint the picture on this one because it makes a difference.
I was wearing a Shoreshak shirt from the show Rocket Power. I had a Nickelodeon fanny pack on, my short shorts, my Hey Arnold socks, and as you probably saw in my photo, if you follow me on Instagram, a giant inflatable Patrick hat.
Fantastic.
Yes, I was decked out as fanboy as I could be.
Peak Cameron.
Yes, I saw the camera and the Nick microphone as I was turning the corner, and I made eye contact with every person. And they all saw me, and then I looked at Lauren, and I'm like, they're gonna ask me to be interviewed. And as I said that, someone came and tapped me on the shoulder. It's like, "Are you okay being on camera?" I said, "Yes, I am."
It's like, hang on, let me just do my makeup real fast.
Yeah. Sorry, is there a makeup person over here?
He's like, yeah.
And it was funny because the person interviewing me, this was her first Comic-Con, so she didn't act like she kind of knew what was going on.
Okay.
But a lot of it was like, okay, yeah, like I'm like, what? Because obviously I do all the editing for this kind of stuff. I'm like, are we filming for TV or IGTV? Or are we filming for YouTube? And like IG. I'm like, okay, so we need to stand a little closer. Like they were all getting the camera set up, and we're just kind of casually chatting. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to stand here. I'm going to stand here. And I kind of look behind me. I'm like, okay, we're in a good spot. We do the interview, and she's like about to walk away. I'm like, oh, I need to sign the form. What's
The release form.
Yeah, the release form. It's like, the what? And I kind of look at the other guy and it's like, do you have something for me to sign? He's like, oh yeah. And he kind of riffles through his bag.
Christ.
It's like, this is not my first time being interviewed.
Yeah, slightly important thing here. I've been the guy that has to get the release form signed.
Yeah. I was very much the first interview of the day. And I won SpongeBob trivia. I won a little pineapple.
Of course you
That
did.
was super cute. So that was highlight number one. Highlight number two, also the Nick booth. They had a great activation this year where you could go inside the Krusty Krab and compete with someone in the Fry Cook games.
Jesus.
And compete to see who was the best fry cook. And I won.
Of course you did.
And
Didn't you tie?
I tied, but I was faster.
I thought he was faster.
No, I was faster.
Oh, okay.
He was bitter. It was my former coworker Tom, who I love to death. He was very upset that I
Okay,
won.
I misread your Instagram story then, because I thought it was the other way around.
No, I did buzz in fast because you basically had a random order to fill. You had a table of ingredients, magnetized ingredients. You had to stack up the burger or the patty in the proper order. The challenge was not putting the ingredients together. The challenge was you only had one set of pieces. And so once you built one of the burgers, you just kind of threw the pieces back on the table, and then the new order would come up and you'd have to find where you put that piece again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, thank God I have good skill with like finding Lego pieces, because that's basically what it felt like. It's like having a big basket of Lego pieces. Like I need to find a fucking 2x4 green piece.
The highest stakes Lego assembly that's never actually Lego you'll ever do.
Yeah. So that was a huge plus. And then getting everything I wanted at Mondo was a huge plus. I got a beautiful Roger Rabbit vinyl.
Yes, I think it's
which
gorgeous.
is gorgeous. I got my friends all gifts. Yeah, the con was just... Oh, and then the Disney party. That was a huge highlight.
Oh, yeah.
I got to work my first Comic-Con party, and it was amazing.
You worked it.
I did work it. I found out I had a Disney voice, which I did not realize I had.
How is that surprising?
It's not.
To anyone, especially you.
Yeah. Well, because I've never been on that side of like being a cast member. But yeah, it was so much fun. I got to meet Questlove, who's awesome. There was a little drama there, but we figured it all out, and he's great. I got to actually meet Bert, the guy who voices Mickey. He was there. I've seen him a handful of times. We've never interacted, and so seeing him was great. And yeah, the party was awesome. I'm excited to see all these people again at D23 in 2-ish weeks.
My God. You don't even have to like really live through your hangover of Comic-Con. You're basically getting the equivalent of Comic-Con hair of the dog. I'm like, hair of the dog.
I don't. What is that reference?
That's when you're hungover and you drink to stop being hungover.
But how is that hair of the?
I don't know. That's just what it's called. It's just called
I
hair
have
of...
never heard it called
How
that.
have you never heard that term?
Because I'm not an alcoholic, Chris.
I mean, I am a...
Welcome to AA.
I am a mostly functioning alcoholic.
You're right. I'm sorry.
And also, I didn't come up with this term. I wasn't out there being like, hey, I do this thing called the hair of the dog. And everyone's like, what the fuck is that? No, that is something everyone says.
I have
How have you
never-
never heard that term? Even through like the course of college. What am I asking that? You were never around hungover people. You were still in the lab. You were still in the animation
it's short
lab.
for hair of the dog that bit you. Is to refer to alcohol consumed with the aim of lessening the effect of a hangover. Okay.
Yeah.
I still don't understand hair of the dog that bit you.
I'll get that out there. But the point is that you already have like another con essentially teed up immediately to help ease you through
Yes.
the con hangover. It is a perfect analogy. You just didn't get it.
You're right. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
I think I have been going to Disney a lot more this year. I think that did kind of prepare me better.
For your Disney voice?
Well, no, I mean just for the con in general. Like I
just
feel like
you're
I was
used to the
able to.
crowds.
I was used to crowds. I was able to handle lines better. I understood, like because with Disney they're very good at pulling, or what do they call it? People lockdown. So they have a thing that happens to move a group of people to one. So like on a busy day at Disney, they'll have like not a new character, but like a rarer character come out because it'll pull an audience from one section to the
okay.
to
They know
a
how
new
to
section.
corral people.
Yes. And so I could kind of see how Comic-Con does it and use that to my advantage. Like, okay, I know how to get here because this is happening at this booth and this booth, which are pulling people that way.
Yeah. Quick, start up the Riverdale signing so we can clear this part of the floor.
Oh man, what's his name? Grant Gustafson came out.
Grant
at one
Gustin.
point. Grant Gustin came out, and it was just him from Flash.
Yeah.
And it was mass chaos.
I mean, he's adorable.
I saw the Game of Thrones people.
That's right,
in
yeah.
a very random adventure. So they were doing DC trivia at the DC booth, kind of at this side area, and we're all playing. We're all having fun. We hear someone yell from behind us, and it's Grey Worm and
Jamie Lannister.
trying to participate in the DC trivia.
So fantastic.
Which is so funny. I won a very ugly Batman print that I left from my Airbnb person because it was very ugly.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. But yeah, that was pretty much most of my con.
That's great.
Those are the highlights. Yeah, I'm excited for next year.
Yeah.
I'm excited for D23 in a couple weeks. I'm excited to actually have connections at a con. This is the first time I had like minor connections.
Yeah, you had industry hookups.
Yeah, I had the party. I got into the Brooklyn Nine-Nine thing through a friend.
You are far more of an industry person at this point than I am. I want you to think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And D23 is when it really shines.
That's when it's really gonna
'Cause
come
I know
through.
where the power people are.
Right? Yeah. You've got all the people in the palm of your hand.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you had a fun time.
Yes.
I got to see you for about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a great little catch up.
Yeah, a little catch up. I got to spend about 2 hours on the floor, and then I tried to go to the Batman exhibit at the Comic-Con Museum, and the line was so long that it was already shut down.
Great. Yeah. That's how it goes. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but I got to go to Puestos twice, and I love Puestos.
Yes.
Which is
I need a list from you for next year.
I know,
if you don't come with me.
Yeah, I feel bad. I was supposed to send it to some other friends too, my San Diego list, and I totally forgot to do it.
Well, because I just forget where I go.
Yeah.
So like the first night, Lauren didn't have a ticket Lauren and her husband Jared did not have a ticket for Thursday, and so I'm walking through the crowd and like, oh, we're at the Blind Burrito, and I sit down, and I'm looking around. I'm like, why does this place feel so familiar? It's like, we came here last year. I'm like, did we? He's like, yeah, we also came here the year before. I'm like, I don't believe you.
I don't understand.
I don't know what you're talking. This is my first time here.
Yeah, I'll have to make. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't send this out. I'll say I can make my San Diego Comic-Con bar and restaurant list, but I don't want to publicize that.
That's
Get
true.
the fuck away from my bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
All right,
It's already busy enough.
they're mine. It's all I go
had
there for.
I had a wonderful dinner with KT.
Yes, you did.
A great listener.
Yes.
And that was delightful. Ran into a bunch of other old con friends and old Disney and nerd friends.
Yeah.
Everything was great. This is a great con.
I'm glad you had a fun time. I
Yeah.
got like about a 24-hour vacation down in San Diego. It was delightful. I took the train. It's a lovely way to travel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're done. I think we're done with this. We'll be back to Zeta next week, much to Cameron's chagrin.
Maybe that's why this weekend felt so good, because I
You
didn't want to
you
say
didn't
that.
have to watch Zeta, but it's coming right back. We're doing more of it. But yes, if you attended the con, or if you have questions about the con, or you have thoughts on the con, you can find us at Tim Talk Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Gmail. I don't really
Gmail Nanjiani.
Gmail Nanjiani. I don't really have much con stuff that I'll put up on my Instagram, but I'll maybe try and find something to throw up there. But you can find me at Lordifer on Twitter and most importantly Instagram. And then Cameron, where can they find you in your fabulous Patrick Star inflatable helmet?
Well, I got one for you as well. So there will be a photo of us wearing the inflatable helmets.
It will happen at some point.
You can find my art, which I'll update someday, at Cameron.Dexter. And if you want to see, I'll make a story highlight of everything I did at the con. If you want to see that, and the very few photos I took at the con of me, you can find that at CamDexter_adventures.
Boom, boom, boom. And let us know what your favorite piece of news came out of Comic-Con. What are you guys what were you most excited to see announced or revealed? But as always, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
And bye-bye.
Bye.